this game I'm making is difficult. But it didn't start like this. A year ago, I started making a platformer in Godot with simple moving and jumping around. It's kind of floaty and missing a few key things that I think are important for platformers, like coyote timing. If you're at this position and jump and fall down, that's going to feel very unresponsive. So coyote timing gives the player a little bit of leeway when jumping off a ledge. And jump buffering. If you press jump here, you're so close to the ground that you might expect a jump, but the character's not on the ground yet, so it might not jump, and that would feel really unresponsive to the player as well. So jump buffering allows some leeway, where if you press jump within a range of the floor, it will still register the jump when the player touches the floor. Another thing is increased gravity on fall. I think this is just preference really, but I think gives a more snappier and weighted feeling jump. I don't really like floaty controls. The final touch was variable jumping, where you hold the button to jump higher or let it go for shorter jumps. So I can introduce a whole bunch of precise platforming challenges with different types of jumps. And with all that in, I now had a very basic platformer, but it's not very different from the platformers already out there. What if you didn't control the character's movement and it just moved back and forth endlessly, where you change direction by bouncing off walls? And this was super fun. Imagine that you could jump between walls, like propelling you upwards as well. So I added in wall bouncing. So now instead of jumping off a wall and just coming back down, you get a slight propulsion upwards, which helps you do some wall bounces. That's all well and good for the movement, but what kind of game is it? Well, rather than a level-based system like Super Mario levels, I thought that because of the constant movement, this would make an awesome, hardcore, rage, precision platformer, where your goal is to reach the top, and if you fall, you lose progress. Just like Getting Over It or Jump King, which were huge inspirations for this. And that's it. We got Lumbah, he jumps, this is Lumbah Jump. One button gameplay to control the jump height, with a goal to reach the top of the map through increasingly difficult platforming sections. Or fall over and over until you rage quit. It can be kind of painful to play, and it might reduce years from your lifespan, but it can also be very entertaining to watch, as I found when playtesting on streams. Not like that. And I get it, it's a simple game, but this is my goal. Finish a game. No unnecessary features, no scope creep, just jump. Lumbah Jump. To hold myself accountable on finishing this, I've already put it on Steam, which is all placeholder right now, but you can wishlist the game, which really helps out a lot. Another reason I'm making this is that I'm a huge fan of games that are simple to pick up but hard to master. There's a unique sense of satisfaction when overcoming a difficult problem. A big inspiration for this has been rock climbing, which I've been doing for a little while now. In rock climbing, in order to progress on a wall, you might come across a difficult section where you fall off. And in order to get back there to practice it, you have to become comfortable with the problems faced in the section beforehand. And the more comfortable you get, the more you can overcome until you finally reach the top. And when you look at it again, you kind of look at it differently. Maybe you could do it in a more efficient way or by using a different technique. And Lumbah Jump feels very similar to that. Obviously without the threat of actually falling to your death, which I think is a bonus. Either way, it can be very satisfying to master a previously difficult area. Speedrunning and beating your previous time or reducing the amount of falls you have will be a big part of this. I also thought of an even more hardcore mode, which you'll unlock after you beat it, where you can't fall or you will burn. I know, it's kind of scope creep, I can't help it, I just thought it was a cool idea. And while the concept is fairly simple, there are some difficult challenges in the development. Here's my rough roadmap so far. So I've been over the idea and the core mechanics, but the first huge task is level design. It's all handmade, hand-tested, based purely on logic and instinct. I'm not going to procedurally generate anything because I think a hand-built design is super important for an experience like this, to get those rage moments just right. But this obviously comes at the cost of it being a really difficult and time-consuming process. I know this because I've been working on the level design on and off for about a year now. My lifespan has definitely reduced simply making this game. Fortunately, I think I'm about 80 or 90% of the way through my first pass. When I'm finished that, I plan to do some playtesting to iron out the flaws and make it even better. My placeholder graphics were very boring, sorry Phil, so I made a mockup or vertical slice to give an idea of how the rest of the game is going to look. I decided on this high-bit pixel art in a natural or organic hand-drawn style to help give a lot of atmosphere and a unique feeling per screen, which makes the level art the second huge task for this project, simply due to the amount of hand-drawn backgrounds I need to make. Thankfully, my background is in art, so I've got some art process tips up my sleeve to speed up the workflow. Until then, I got kinda sick of Lumbah just looking weird and unresponsive. I mean, what's going on there? Sliding around. So I got to work on some character animations in Sprite. I got an idle animation, I tried out multiple different running animations. I already know the Naruto one will be everyone's favorite, but I decided to go with this one. Maybe I'll put the Naruto one as like an Easter egg unlock or something. We got the jumping, wall bouncing, and of course, the splat. I managed to put these in the game to test them out, but there's still some problems with it and I need to tweak them and re-export the sprites, so I'll get this fixed and share some more progress in the next video. But let me know what you think so far. Is this the type of game you would play, or do you value your own sanity and health? Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and while you wait, why don't you check out this game art video? Thanks for watching.